You know that list of rules the campground gives you when you guys are checking in? Well, most of the time that doesn't necessarily have everything on it that you guys are going to need to know. Whether you guys are a seasoned veteran or maybe just a rookie starting out, we came up with a list of 10 unwritten rules for RV life while visiting the campground. Welcome back to the Camping Loop. Rule number 1 of RV etiquette, staying out of the left lane. Now listen up, folks. The left lane is like the VIP of the highway, reserved for speed demons and passing. Nothing screams rookie move louder than cruising your RV along in precious left lane territory. Now do yourself a favor and stick to the right lane. That way you're going to avoid frustrated drivers, angry honks, and questionable hand gestures. Rule number 2, your fire ring is not your personal trash can. Now I know it's pretty tempting to throw everything from empty beer cans to half-eaten hot dogs inside here, but really, is it that hard to take a few extra steps to the trash bin? We need to respect the place that people gather to cook dinner and make s'mores, so keep your beer bottles and broken flip-flops out of there. Rule number 3, only use local or kiln-dried firewood. Untreated firewood is one of the main reasons why invasive pests and things like that get transferred into your local campground. Now, obviously, most campgrounds are going to offer you firewood for sale, or even better, support the local neighbor who's selling it down the street. Now, you guys might be thinking, what's the big deal? Well, let me tell you, one untreated piece or infested piece of firewood spreads like a wildfire and crushes the ecosystem of everything in its path. So please, let's all do our part so future generations can enjoy the same beautiful parks that we get to enjoy today. Number 4. Don't leave your outside awning lights on all night long. Now, we all know the feeling. Here you are, ready to be nestled into your peaceful camper, ready to catch some much-needed Z's, only to be blinded by a laser light show outside that makes you feel like you're at a rave instead of a campground. Now, don't get me wrong, awning lights are a great way to add to your outdoor living space, but there's a time and place for everything, folks. There's no reason that your neighbor should be subjected to a disco show at 2 a.m. Number 5, don't feed the wildlife. I know these little chipmunks and squirrels are great at convincing you that it's no big deal, but trust me, they're not as innocent as they seem. One minute you're sharing your sandwich, and the next you got a bear doing the cha-cha slide trying to get inside your RV. And be sure you're storing your food correctly. I'm telling you, these critters got a nose for snacks, and they can smell it from miles away. You wouldn't believe how many times we see people that have left things out overnight only to wake up in the morning to having a few surprise visitors. Number 6, don't let your dogs bark nonstop. Now, I know our furry friends are part of the family, but let's be honest here, nobody wants to hear Fido's greatest hits on repeat all day long. Now, I know dogs will be dogs, and sometimes they'll let a bark out here and there that can't be controlled, but here's the deal. It's your job to control the canine concert that's going on in the campground. Maybe bring along their favorite toy, take them for a walk, get them a ball, do something to curb all that pent-up energy and be able to keep the peace inside the campground. Number 7, pick up your site. I'm talking about pick up the empty chip bags, get those empty beer cans put away, make the kids pick up their candy wrappers, or maybe they had a water balloon fight. It's certainly not the next camper's responsibility or the park ranger or the cleaning crew to come in here and take care of your mess. That's right, it's the old leave no trace rule. If you brought it onto this campsite, you better figure out a way to get it out. Remember, the site's not your personal garbage can, and guess what? Your mom doesn't work here to clean up after you. Number 8, let's have a little respect for common or shared areas. I'm talking about things like the bathroom, your picnic table, the playground, the park, basically anywhere that's not your personal RV. Maybe not take a half an hour shower if people are waiting, or learn to wipe the seat if you're a dribbler. Keep in mind, the picnic table is where most people enjoy their meals with their families, so keep your dog poop bags off it, and certainly never put your sewer hose on it while you guys are hooking up your RV. Go ahead and make sure your kids are respecting the playground or kids' activities. Little Timmy doesn't need to be over there carving his name into every single swing in the slide. If they're old enough to be over there unsupervised, they're certainly old enough to be held accountable. Number 9, let your neighbor set up before you walk over there and say hello. I mean, come on, folks. Imagine backing your 30-footer into here, trying to avoid tree limbs and picnic tables, only to see Uncle Joe running down the street with a million questions in a booming voice. Not exactly the peaceful entrance you guys were hoping for, Most likely your neighbor's probably frustrated from trying to back their rig in, so don't go over there and start directing traffic like you're a cop in New York City or with a long list of suggestions on what they need to do. It's one thing if you see them struggling to maybe go over there and ask if they need a hand, but go ahead and give them a minute. And certainly that leads me to number 10, don't ever knock on your neighbor's door. Wendy and I are all for saying hello, but I can assure you the last thing we want is somebody knocking on that door at 6 a.m. looking to have some morning coffee. And believe it or not, there are some people at the campground that prefer to totally be left out of your plans. We got to remember to respect people's privacy and sites, and not everybody is a morning person who wakes up on the right side of the bed. Now remember to spread the word of these unwritten rules of the campground and RV life, and if you guys can think of anything else, comment down below. As always, we appreciate you guys watching, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. We will catch you next week.